Hi, in this presentation, I'm going to be running a restriction enzyme analysis on a plasmid using ApE software. Okay, let's get started. So first, I'm going to go to my ApE software, and I'm just going to click on it, and it should bring me to a open page. Waiting for it to open up. Okay, so as you can see, is a screen that says new DNA. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to File and press Open. And I'm going to go to a sequence that I worked on in a previous video, the plasmid MSH2 gene. This is a wild type gene as well. So I'm just going to open that and the sequence is going to pop up. Okay, as you can see, the sequence has popped up. So I'm just going to expand the screen. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a comparison of two restriction enzymes, and I'm going to see basically how many nucleotides each enzyme will cut from this particular DNA, well, not DNA sequence, but MSH2 sequence. It's a gene sequence. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start by clicking on enzyme, and I'm going to select two enzymes that are going to be my focus enzyme for this video. So I'm going to go with this enzyme right here called BSP. And I'm also going to go with this enzyme called, let's see, I'm trying to pick one, a good one. I'm going to pick this one called HPAO. So I'm just going to click on those two. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a graphic map, and it's going to show the plasmid, and it's going to show first it's going to show the particular gene, then it's going to show the two restriction enzymes, and basically the amount of nucleotides that particular enzyme can cut or digest. So let's just press the graphic map. And as you can see, it tells how many nucleotides are present in this particular MSH2 gene, and there are 9,325 base pairs. That's what BP stands for. So I'm just going to do a calculation using my calculator, and what I'm looking at is my two restriction enzymes. So as you can see, HPAL has 6,105, and basically that means the number of base pairs that can be cut or removed when I use that particular restriction enzyme. And as you can see over here on the right hand side, the BSP 120L, it can cut 2,000. Sorry about that. It can cut 2,082 base pairs. This particular enzyme right here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take those two enzymes that I used, and I'm just going to subtract the two. So I'm going to subtract 6,105 from 2,082. And it's going to give me 4,223. So basically, the HPAL enzyme can cut 4,023 more base pairs than the BS120L restriction enzyme. Again, the HPAL 1,023 base pairs than the BSP120L enzyme. Okay, and so what I'm going to look at my actual number of base pairs that's in this sequence, and you can see that it's 9,325. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to subtract that from the greatest number of base pairs between the two. When I subtracted the HPAL enzyme from the BSP120L enzyme. And that's going to give me a value. So I'm going to do the calculations. So I'm going to subtract 9,325 from 4,023, and this is the value that I will get. The value I will get is 5,302. So that number basically tells us the number of nucleotides or base pairs that will be left over once these two enzymes, or I should say, the two enzymes cut through this particular gene or with these particular sequence base pairs. I should have 5,302 base pairs remaining once that cut is finished. Now that can be a good number depending on how small or how large you want to cut this particular sequence. But in this video, I'm not worried about that. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to just click out of the little graphic of the enzyme. Well, actually, if you wanted to, you could keep that up. So I just pull it back up. And what I'm going to do, it may not let me look at both of them. I'm going to go back to the enzyme selector where I selected the two enzymes that I was going to analyze. And I'm going to go and I'm going to press digest. Now, when I press digest, what that option or feature should do, it should tell me the exact calculations that I just performed from the information that I interpreted from the plasmid graph or the plasmid map, however you want to say it. So I'm going to press digest, and it looks like my numbers are correct. I initially said that if you were to subtract the two restriction enzymes from each other, that the HPAL enzyme would cut 4,023 more base pairs than the BSP120L, and that is correct. So my math was correct. And once I done the subtraction from the actual sequence that we use in the gene sequence that we're using from the MSH2 sequence, that value was subtracted. I subtracted the value from the two enzymes with that value, and I got 5,302, and that's correct, basically saying that if I use those two particular enzymes, the BSP120L and the HPAL, that when I'm finished using those enzymes to cut through that plasmid or the gene, that it should be 5,302 base pairs remaining after I have finished cutting that particular sequence using those two genes, or I should say using those two enzymes. I use the two enzymes to cut the genes. And that's it for today. Thank you.